Hello again, and welcome to the works. See, I'm pausing because I want her to go first, but that's not going to work. No.
I'm Diane.
I'm Jim, and welcome back in. We're going to have to figure out, as we figure out this podcast stuff, I swear I think we're over-modulating. I don't want it to sound all techie, but maybe somebody can help us with the idea of the best way to record. I want to separate our voices in two different channels. Okay, that isn't the topic, I guess, but I guess I'm looking for a sponsor to give us an audio board.
That would be nice.
Yeah, because right now we're just passing the phone back and forth to each other in the bathroom, and I'm on the toilet. No.
And we're using soup cans and some string.
No, I wanted to talk about memories, and in particular, I guess it made me nostalgic. We got a couple of comments last time, and from old school friends, and again, appreciate that that shout out. So, Central Ohio memories. That's where we're from. Mm-hmm. At least we grew up, and I'll get to Mr. Sells's particular memories he brought flooding back for me in a good way in a minute, but I also wanted to talk about some of the other things that is it regional, because we've been down south, or we've been in North Carolina for about 20 years, or left Ohio for 20 years. We spent a little time in Roanoke. Ugh, Lord, but there have to be regional stories that I don't know how they get passed around. See, I'm hoping that the build-up here gives her a hint of what I'm talking about.
Not Fred Reichert.
Oh, the dreaded curling iron incident in the emergency room in Fred Reichert. What? How? So Diane and I, we both grew up like Mr. Sells, who was nice enough to comment in the last episode. I grew up in P-Town, Pickerington.
I grew up in Westerville.
We didn't know each other. We only met in a second life, if you will, through work. And shout out to Ken, who helped actually facilitate that in a weird way. Hired me at CompuWare, but neither here. We'll talk about that another time. But so you and I grew up different areas of the town, and yet we knew about Fred Reichert and the curling iron incident. And how is that?
I don't know. Somebody's cousin's brother's uncle, ex-wife.
Does anybody else remember this? Like in your family, have you ever brought it up?
No.
Okay.
No, but it was amazing that here we are working as, 30-year-olds and just happened to stumble upon that. Oh, yeah, I know.
Well, we're talking about things up your rump, right? No, we were talking about curling irons. No, we weren't talking about. I guess my question was it the kind that's smooth, or was it the brushy kind?
Right.
Because that would make a huge difference. But
just how different stories and how they travel. I think it started when I was talking about childhood memories that, you turn the tricycle upside down and you paddle the wheels.
Oh, you're making ice cream.
Yeah.
Right? We all knew that. And I guess that's because you churn ice cream, right? But why was the upside down bike?
I don't know.
The thing that was the ice cream maker.
No, but everybody's like, they pause and they were like, oh yeah, we're making ice cream. You touch a spoke and you say chocolate.
Well, but you don't remember the one, if you fart and you're the last one to lick your thumb, stick it on your forehead and declare a flavor. If you're the last one, you ate it. And you don't remember that one, but for some reason
I do.
I don't even know what it was called. But you lick your finger and declare a flavor.
That was good. We all did it.
Oh, and the games we used to play.
Of course, freeze tag.
Well, TV tag. I mean, all the iterations. Yeah, all the iterations of tag. But
and then smear.
You can't play that anymore. without
Yeah.
offending anyone.
Do you know what we're talking about? Audience?
Yeah.
Smear the reminds was, yeah.
Beer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the bicycle upside down. Well, anyway, my point was that we grew up and actually we didn't even know each other. Like I said, well, we didn't know each other until working time. Weird connection. Somebody that you knew later in life was somebody that I went to school with in high school.
Well, actually, it was my college roommate. I went to her
that's
wedding.
Right. That's right.
And I don't know how we figured out that your buddy from high school married my college roommate.
Yeah, small world. That could be a whole other topic, but
I'm surprised I didn't run into you at the Battle of the Bands because I was there with Buffy.
Yes, that was Lonnie Perlman, who he won twice, right? Battle of the Bands. How many years did they do that in Ohio, Central Ohio?
I don't even recall. I don't recall.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was thinking about when Matt made a comment. You never went in your school. Well, you went to Westerville, so it was a lot bigger. Pickerington, when I went, there was a couple of years that we were split sessions. It was such a small school that everyone went to the same building. Elementary, middle schoolers went in the morning. High schoolers went in the afternoon. It was 6 to noon, noon to 6. But it was in 6th grade, I remember, we all went to, I think it was Geneva Hills. It was a camping thing. Did you ever do camping in high school? No? No overnights ever?
No, it was at 5th grade? No, 6th grade. Everybody in Ohio did like 3 days camping with their 6th grade class.
Right. And where was that? Oh, you didn't get to go.
I didn't get to go, but my mom still sent me to school and I had to sit in with the 5th graders.
Okay.
Ugh.
So exactly why? I'm
because
sure I've heard
of
the
my
story.
allergies. I don't know.
Did your brother go?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't remember where it was?
I don't remember.
I think
where it
Geneva.
was.
We went to Geneva Hills.
Okay.
Right, which is down by Lancaster, Logan.
That sounds about right.
That area. And like you said, it was a. Again, this was a Central Ohio thing. We all did it. It was like 2 days, 2 nights, 3 days, something like that.
I don't know. You got the experience. I didn't.
Well, the one thing that I remember from that was, I don't know how I got picked, or I got lucky, or I lost a bet, but being able to fish one day was a big thing. But that required you to bring fishing gear in on the bus with you. And of course there were, a handful of other kids that brought their fathers, or maybe they had their own fishing gear, a regular rod, maybe a tackle box or something. And maybe now I think about it, I look back, maybe it was my father's joke, but he gave me a fly fishing rod to take on a bus. Now, if anybody knows anything about fly fishing rods are about 30 feet long.
On a bus.
And trying to, and they don't break apart. And just trying to negotiate getting into the bus and then turn that quick corner and go find a place to sit, and then while not poking anyone along the way. But it was a hit. The fly fishing. It's funny that, and the reason that I think I had suggested it. I don't know. It's very easy. I was constantly catching fish. Just the easy thing to catch fish with, or maybe I was just lucky that day. I don't know. And I don't know that we did anything with the fish, but I do remember one. That's the one time I recall looking through a telescope for the first time and seeing Saturn. That was, and to this day, it's one of those visions that will always stick with me. And then we also had the buddy burners. Do you remember? Well, you didn't get to go, but
buddy burners.
We made buddy burners, which was you had to take a can of coffee in one day, and this was a project leading up to the camping at Geneva Hills, and you'd cut out part of the bottom or top of the can.
Back when coffee came in cans.
Exactly. Yeah. And so you'd cut that out, and then you also had to bring in, I think, like a tin of tuna, or not, with tuna in it, but empty. So you had your tin of tuna, you had your coffee tin, and you cut out a little square in the bottom of it. Then you would turn your tuna can into a burner. You'd put some stuff in it, and what's the gas or the liquid that you can
Butane.
something like that. Yeah. So you'd slip that. You'd put your can over the fire, and then you had a hot surface in which to cook or burn, maim, but you had a hot surface in which you would cook breakfast. And what was fun about that is I remember it was where I learned to you take a little circle out of the middle of a piece of bread. After you butter it, you put it down on your buddy burner, and then you crack an egg in it.
Huh. Fun.
And you kick you let the bottom cook, and you flip it, and you let the top cook, and you got
Well, that's fun.
egg sandwich all self-contained.
There's no way they would do that now. Kids would burn themselves and somebody would get sued.
Yeah. But yeah, that all these memories come flying back, and then some with again, appreciate Matt reaching out, and Matt was a lot of fun. We grew up, and there's so many. One of the, I think I've told you guys most of the fun stories. I don't think any of this will come as a shock. I was hoping that I could think of something that Matt and I did. One of my favorite things with Matt was his mom, sweet lady. I don't want to say notoriously was a bad cook, but there was maybe it was a cliche argument that he always had that we always had to go to McDonald's to go get some cheeseburgers because whatever he ate that night didn't agree with him or wasn't good. But Matt's mom made some muffins once, and I go over and notice Matt in the cornfield or facing the cornfield with a 9-iron. Hitting stuff into the cornfield, and I didn't realize at the time until I got closer. I parked the car and came over, and sure enough, Matt's hitting Mom's muffins out into the cornfield. Of course, I asked why. He offered one up for a treat. They're a little dense, but and that's so we use those as golf balls. And I think one of the famous things that and why you do it, I don't know. Because it's destructive. But when we went to McDonald's, we'd always ask for a cup of pickles. And then we drive back through town. Now, we didn't have the only McDonald's we had. Because Pickerington had nothing except for a Dairy Queen and a 4-way stop. But we'd go get a cup of pickles. And we, I guess, lack of a better word, vandalize cars by throwing pickles on them. No, we didn't.
You would fling pickles?
We'd drive by it, at night.
Oh, they would stick. Yeah, that would be fun.
And honestly, we would only aim for the windshield was the goal because you'd see them, right? We didn't realize that
it's acidic.
Some of the victims had some paint issues later. But we would.
You didn't think of that.
Well, and then how often? It was funny because it was only like the first couple of times that they ever quite. It was the McDonald's in Reynoldsburg on Main Street, and a couple of times. The first time you ask for a couple pickles to go with your cheeseburgers, they kind of question you, but then they hand you a cup of pickles. So, and that turned into a regular Saturday, Thursday. Oh, Matt was great with that Champ. He had a Plymouth Champ.
Never heard of it.
It's a tiny little car. It's kind of like Ken's Yugo. Tiny thing. But every time he would come over to pick me up, he wouldn't use the standard brake. And it was a stick, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. But instead of the standard brake, he'd pull the emergency brake just as he pulled into the driveway to come pick me up. And that would always end up in the car would slide, skid, end up in the grass sometime. And I remember once that he and I decided to go turfing another one of our friends, and that was a bad one because I had to actually call my father to get us out. We were stuck. I mean, it's a Plymouth Champ, for God's sake.
Right.
So the donuts we were making in the front yard were, we got stuck. And the worst part was we thought Stacy, who was the recipient of that prank, wasn't home. Apparently he was and was watching the whole time. And then you feel bad. But
Oh, that's funny.
But so do you have any?
Well, I have an accidental vandal story. Yeah, you just don't think. There was a childhood friend that there was a house being built next door to her. And her father said, "No, I don't want you guys going over there. It's dangerous." Blah, blah, blah. So, of course, we didn't listen. But the challenge was he was outside mowing the lawn. So we had to stealth creep over there to get into this shell of a house that's being built.
And the purpose was just to get in?
Just to get in, because it's neat. You
Sure.
can pretend it's a house, but it's not a house. And, you didn't want to get caught. And meanwhile, we're up there and we thought we would, well, this is the fun part. We thought we would help clean up because, we were helpful. So all the pop cans that were around, the construction workers, we decided to push them into these little holes in the floor. Well, those were the vent holes for the heating
Wow.
HVAC system.
So-
And you could hear them clunk, 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 clunk. I can only imagine whoever bought that house,
when they
what
turned
kind.
it on the first time. Yeah.
Right, yeah. I think this is great. I think we even peed in one of them because we couldn't sneak back to the house because we didn't want to be seen. But in the meantime, as he's mowing the lawn, we couldn't see him at all the time, so we had to poke holes. It wasn't Tyvek back then, but we were poking holes in the what would you the infrastructure
Sure. The drywall.
the dry.
yeah.
It wasn't quite drywall yet,
Right.
but we were poking holes in it so we could see where he was. And he I don't know where he went. We decided to sneak back into the house, and then all of a sudden there's a cop in the driveway, and the cop is knocking on the door, asking her dad if he had seen any young men vandalizing the house next door because somebody poked holes everywhere. And boy, we stayed hidden the rest of the day. He was like, "No, they've been here." But we didn't mean to vandalize, but it was just one of those shameful moments that you're like, oh.
And so, what was that? I noticed you mentioned boys because I think that was another one of your lifelong traumas I learned about later in life, that you had the bowl cut. Your mom dressed you like a boy. I don't know what the whole deal was, but
yeah.
okay.
I think they just thought usually young men are the ones that vandalize. But no, I did look like a young man. That's a whole nother. Yeah, she decided in third grade, was it fourth grade, that I had long hair, was blonde. It was blonde because I was always swimming in the summer. But she decided I wasn't brushing it often enough. So then she took and gave me a pixie haircut. It was a boy's haircut. And it didn't help that being a young gymnast, I was very muscular and very aggressive in my walk. And so I got called young man all the time. And in fact, the whole snow day bit that we talked about, fun story, we decided to go down the hill and triple decker, my dad on the bottom, my brother in the middle, and I'm on top. And we go down the hill, and I'm pushing off only for the sled to slide over my fingers. And oh my God, I fell off. I'm holding my hand. Everybody else has gone down the hill. And
did you get stitches
no, it didn't cut, but it was just the weight
Sure.
of three people,
on a real sled?
on a rail sled. Yes. So I'm laying there bawling my eyes out on the middle of the hill, and people are rushing up to me. Young man, are you okay? And I don't know which hurt more, my hand or my pride. Meanwhile, I'm in my brother's, old hand-me-down winter coat. Do you remember the denim coat that had the orange lining and then the fur trim on the hood? Not fur, but
No. Sure.
but yeah. So I had that and my pixie haircut, and it was awful. But
When you mentioned cutting grass, right?
mhm.
At some point, and one of Matt's friends, he wasn't Larry. I think it was Larry Dosty, if I'm pronouncing that right or remembering right. One of the pranks that and I don't know. I heard this through Matt, or maybe this is the Fred Reichard wives' tale. But I remember of an incident that Matt was involved with somehow, but Larry Dostey was the creative talent behind it. He fertilized the football field where we were supposed to graduate, or it was the year before. Maybe he was a year ahead of us in '84, but he had fertilized a certain word into the grass. So when you're fertilizing your yard, right, you pull back on the little trigger and and you make grass green. Well, apparently he was clever enough to orchestrate how, when he was fertilizing, and he was fertilizing and not because he was studious, he's always in trouble. It was a detention thing, I'm sure, right? And he was supposed to fertilize the football field, and he fertilized a nasty word into it. I can't remember which one it was, but then, of course, our principal, Richard Ball, what a great name for a principal, threatened to cancel the
graduation.
Yeah, Dick Ball.
Dick Ball.
Yeah, classic. But yeah,
and you got to give credit where credit is due. I mean, that's genius.
Had another friend that introduced me to what they called the Mother Express card. I had copied this idea, but the Mother Express card was a copy, if you will, of a signature of Mom. Not mine, but, well, mine eventually when it served me well. And they would use their Mom Express card, hold up, write a note that they were late for some reason or had to leave for some reason, and trace over the Mom Express card, which, as we said, we never left school without it.
That's awesome.
That was pretty good, too. So, Matt, appreciate you helping bring back memories, and Diane for sharing. Always good.
Those are fun times. I wish I had more. My shenanigans started in college, at 18. No,
well,
yeah.
it's different, especially if you're a little boy.
Yeah. Mother boy.
Yeah. I think one of the other things I remember Matt and I were famous for was, I don't know why we would drive around and see how fast we could go hanging onto the hood of the car. I don't know why, but I don't know if he had the record or I had the record, but his car was always the one that we did it. Bob and Brian, I think there were a couple others, but and then one last. Again, I shouldn't end on this note, but do you remember when Wendy's had hot dogs?
No.
Wendy's had hot dogs. I'm sure I think Matt's going to remember this one, but this was a tough one because you didn't know whether to laugh or to get upset. So we pull out of the we drive through of Wendy's. We get these brand new Wendy's hot dogs, and Matt starts choking on one. I mean, literally choking on one while he's driving. And I don't know if he was goofing or if he was serious. And so he then basically flags me down as I'm laughing my ass off in the passenger seat next to him while he's choking. Finally start pounding on his back. Long story short, coughs up a piece of Wendy's hot dog. And then, of course, he starts laughing too. But, yeah, maybe that was the reason they got rid of Wendy's hot dogs. The Wendy's hot dogs.
That's a good story.
What do you remember about, fast food was big for us.
Mm-hmm.
GD Ritzies.
Yeah.
Goddamn Ritzies. Right?
Do you remember there was Burger Chef? Burger Chef was big before there was,
but
along with Burger King.
So the closest thing we had in Pickerington was Reynoldsburg, and so again, that's where you get your one McDonald's. Burger King wasn't as big of a thing. Well, there was one on Hamilton Road, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't remember Burger Chef. But of course, God, I remember Taco Bell, or not Taco Bell, the
Zantigos.
The other one,
yes. Cheese Cholito.
Cheese Cholito. Is that how you say it? Doesn't sound right.
Zantigos.
Well, that, yeah. Max and Irma's. You had those phones on your table.
Yeah, my brother, he came up with a good bit. The Max and Irma's was, they ended up going national, but It started that they had the restaurant, and every table had a number above, and there was a telephone on the table, so you could call another table to talk to them. It was like a singles thing. Um, and so my brother decided that he would call another table and say, "Hey, if you have," and he would make up a number on the underside of your chair, you win a free Max's dinner. And so everybody would like get out of their seat and turn their chairs upside down, and he would just be losing it. He just thought that was the funniest thing.
Clever. That's clever. Or they were famous for the garbage burger.
The garbage burger. Mm-hmm.
Spinnakers.
Oh, I forgot about Spinnakers at the mall, City Center Mall.
Cookers.
Yeah, those were good.
Very much.
And then I think in Westerville, the GD Ritzy's got replaced by Delights.
Yeah,
Boy,
there was a chain that started doing things kind of like a diet thing.
Yeah,
right?
it was Delights. It was awful.
But I also remember, what was the chicken place?
We had
Sisters
Sisters
Chicken and Biscuits.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. And that's where I discovered sweet tea.
Oh.
And then diabetes. That's what they do down south real well. Sweet tea. My Lord.
Oh my God, we watched, what's the guy that chugs everything? Mr. Chugs?
Yeah, our kids had, I know they've turned us on. I've watched one or two before. They know all these celebrities. And yeah, is it Mr. Chugs? Sir Chugs? I don't know.
But he did, I don't know how many ounces of sweet tea.
Yeah.
Was it McDonald's sweet tea?
Well, no, he then cut it with something that was like unsweet. It's
no, he didn't cut it with any. It was sweet tea, and then he added a creamer.
Right. He put half and half in the damn thing.
No, it wasn't half and half. It was a sweetened creamer.
Oh, there you go.
Ugh.
Well, can't be a little pregnant. You can't be a little diabetic.
Yeah.
Right? Might as well go.
You're not going to be more diabetic, but
yeah. Yeah, super diabetic.
Yeah.
Good times.
Good times.
Well, let's wrap it up. This is Jim.
This is Diane.
Thanks again for listening. See you next time on The Works.